we here? We've got a big ass box of hops beer mail from my good buddy Dave at 1021 Brewing. So you know what time it is, BrewTube? It's time for a mail call. That's right, as you can see by the lovely sign handcrafted on the front of this box. Well, kind of handcrafted if you can't like type it on the computer and like cutting and pasting and shit. Anyways, our buddy Dave here, our good YouTube, BrewTube, DJs BrewTube, that is, friend, has sent us a big box of hoppy happiness. So I guess it's happy birthday to me from New England. So we're going to get this box open. It won't take too long to unpack because this box Dave and I have sent back and forth to one another much times. So I've taken a little peek inside. Everything's safe and sound, and I'm sure there's some awesome hoppy brews inside of here. So we're gonna get it unpacked, and I will be back in a flash with the contents revealed. See you then. Okay, gang, I'm back. Everything in the box was protected perfectly by the lovely, sturdy corrugated walls of our sort of boomerang box that Dave and I have sent back to each other. So without further ado, let's get into this big ass box of hops and see what awesomeness is contained within. So first up, we have a beer from Two Roads Brewing Company, who's out of Stratford, Connecticut. And I've never had a beer from Two Roads. I've had many beers brewed at Two Roads from like guys like Evil Twin, but I've never had one of their beers. So first up, we have their Road to Ruin. This is the IPA. It clocks in at 8% ABV and 65 IBUs. Num num, get into that like the hops going down the drink hole. So next up we have a beer from, who are these guys? This is Night Shift Brewing, and these guys are out of Everett, Massachusetts, and this is their Whirlpool APA, or American Pale Ale. Clocks in at 4.5% ABV and between 30 and 45 IBUs for the style. That's kind of how it goes for American Pale Ales, isn't it? So this is sort of a session pale ale. That's awesome. You can drink that maybe in the daytime when you're having lunch and you don't want to be crunked when you got to go do more stuff. So next, we have a beer from Great North Ale Works. Now, these guys are out of Manchester, New Hampshire. This is their IPA. That's the only name. Nothing else. Just IPA. This clocks in at 7.0% ABV and between 45 and 70 IBUs for the style. Should be good. We'll find out. Next, we have a beer from Narragansett. I get Narragansett out here in Maryland, but I probably would not have purchased this beer that comes from Providence, Rhode Island, because it's kind of a beer lemonade mix. It's their Dell's Shandy. I don't often buy shandies, but I'm glad that Dave sent it to me because it makes me try it now. He sent it to me. I'm going to try it. He said it's really refreshing. I'm going to cut the grass, probably be all disgusting and sweaty when I review this 4.7%er, and that'll be awesome after doing a little lawn mowing. So, what do we got up next? Next, we have one from a brewery from whom I've never had a beer before, and this is from Bissell Brothers. This is their Lux Rye Ale. Now, these guys are out of Portland, Maine. Shout out to you, my brother, raining on your parade. And this clocked in at 5.1% ABV and between 30 and 45 IBUs. Why am I saying that? That's the American Pale Ale range, but they're saying this is a hoppy rye ale. And I've heard really good things about this beer. I am excited to try that one. So, next up, we have a beer from, let's see, what is this? Oh, Banded Horn Brewing Company. And these guys are out of Biddleford, Biddleford, Maine. And this is their, what is it? Wicked Bueno. If that's not a combination of New England and Spanish, I don't know. This is their Wicked Bueno, and it's their Mexican-style lager. So this is an American adjunct lager. It's clocking in at 4.3% ABV and 15 IBUs. So they're saying they brew this with corn and Cascade hops. That should be nice. I don't think Mexican lagers are usually brewed with Cascade hops because they use a lot of like German sort of like Holler Tower hops and stuff like that. But you know what? We shall see. So, what do we have next? We've got a beer that has a really freaking cool name. And it's from Wormtown Brewery, who is out of Worcester, Massachusetts. Isn't that the correct pronunciation, Dave? Worcester, Massachusetts. And what beer is it? It's Spies Like Us. This is Russian Imperial Stout. It clocks in, of course, because the name kind of tells you that, right? Spies Like Us. Remember the movie back in the 80s? If you're not really fucking old like I am, you might not remember that. But anyways, so Spies Like Us, this clocks in at 10.5% ABV and 47 IBUs. It's supposed to be a real straightforward, traditionally brewed sort of Russian Imperial Stout. I'm all down for that because I like that kind of beer. I also really like homebrew beer. That's right. And we have a homebrew from our buddy Dave. He was kind enough to send us one. This is his 1021 Brewing from the Hill. This is a golden ale. It's modeled after a beer that he really liked. It's got his own hops in it. And you know what? It's an homage to a beer he likes. I'm going to dig pouring that down my drink hole. I'm not sure what the ABV is. It is, Dave. If you can tell me that, that'll be cool before I do the review. So, next up, we have a beer from, let's see, Garrison City Beer Works, and they're out of Dover, New Hampshire, and this is their Daybreak IPA. This one clocks in at 6.2% ABV and 72 IBUs. Straight up IPA, supposed to be really big and citrusy notes forward. So, now, we got some more big boys coming out. You see, I'm kind of losing room here, so I got to move a little bit. So, now we have one from one of my favorite hoppy breweries these days, and a lot of people's favorite. This is from Trillium Brewing Company out of Boston, Massachusetts. And what is it? It's their Little Rooster Pale Ale. Now, this is from their, I guess, sort of like maybe lower ABV series of beers. It says it's from their, what is it? Small Bird series. Whatever that is. I guess they got the Street series, and this is the Small Bird series. But this one clocks in at 5.8% ABV and 30 and 45, between 30 and 45 IBUs, and I think this one features Galaxy and Nelson Sauvin hops, I think, if memory serves. I've read a little bit about it. So, next up, another cool beer from Trillium, and this beer is called, let's see, 100,000 Trillion IPA. This one, that's a mouthful. This one clocks in at 6.3% ABV and between 45 and 70 IBUs since it's an IPA, and it's aged on mango, peach, and apricot. Very lake flavored sort of fruits. So I'm wondering if you'll be able to pick out those layers of flavor, because those are all sort of stone fruits, and even in a dried state or a fresh state, a lot of them have a very close flavor profile, or you can tell they're of the same family. So last but certainly not least is a beer that Dave was super generous to send me. It's one that I didn't think I was going to drink. It's from a little brewery you may know that I haven't reviewed a beer from for a really long time. It's from a brewery called The Alchemist, right? That are out of Stowe, Vermont, US of A. You may have heard them. And what is it? It's their Crusher DIPA. That's right, 9% ABV DIPA. This clocks in between 50 and 100 plus IBUs. I've seen some people saying this is 110 IBUs. How do they know? I don't think Alchemist has ever listed their IBUs that I remember, but I hear only awesome things about that beer, and I cannot wait to dive into it. So as you can see, when I was saying I got a big-ass box of hops, save the one Russian Imperial Stout, I wasn't freaking kidding you. Dave, you rock, my brother, and Beer Mails rock, because we get to trade stuff that we would have never, had a chance to get. Dave called me up and said, hey, brother, can you hook me up with some Aslan? I said, hell yes, I can do that. So, Dave, I hope you really enjoyed the box of kind of hops and malt that I sent you, because I'm down with some malty beers, and watch out for that on Fleet. That's a big one. So, till the next DJs BrewTube, thanks a million again, Dave. Thanks a million to each and every one of you guys for watching. Also, I'm really appreciative when you think locally, drink locally, and support the craft beer movement. This is getting all that shit done that was aforementioned. It's also really pretty freaking awesome when you rate, comment, subscribe, and what do you gotta do? Smash that like button, because that, along with Beer Mails, always, no doubt, put my big ass happy face on, especially after the shit week I've had. So, till then, I've got nothing but a big, huge, appreciative bunch of love for Dave and all you guys out there watching my videos. Until then, you know what's coming. That's right. I am sure you're ready by now for a big peace out.